movement we moved to parties, political parties, opening the space, people realize that still, as a party comes, there are people behind those parties. And the people behind those parties are the ones that carry the flags, right? Now, what am I trying to talk about here? We came as movement, then other people came as IPC, SUVI, and etc. The individuals who are bearing our party flags, some of them have not done enough to market themselves for the people to understand who they are. They've not gone down on the ground, down to the people, even here in the capital. Now, where do you come in and say that the person who voted for the president is the same person who voted for the NRM candidate? It's a different story here.
Okay. All right, Mr. Goma, I think you've made a very, very strong point there. We take it. Thank you very much indeed. Next, our last caller, Spectrum. Hello.
Hello.
Your name, sir?
This is Wandela.
Mr. Wandela.
Thank you very much, Edmond. But first I want to say that this election was really the most colorful election in a way that it was completely peaceful. And I also want to thank Ugandans for being so decisive. Ugandans now are maturing via politics. They know what they want. On the issue of deployment, well, it will not be a problem because this is our brothers and sisters, our daughters and sons. But if it is interfering with the supplies of goods, that's where it becomes an issue. And I think in future, probably, they need to address that. But if it is the issue of providing security, that will not be an issue really. I want to thank the Electoral Commission for his commitment and living to the expectation of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll get back to the studio. Mr. Bamwine.
Well, I want to thank those who have called, but most importantly, I want to tell you that a person that is going to win this election must have been that person and his team or her team who have mobilized more people to come and vote. And the voter turnout is going to be so low, roughly or averagely, when you add opposition votes and President Museveni's vote in Kampala, it is 500 plus. But I want to assure you, in total number of votes who have been cast today, they will not reach 200,000. So that means the people who are the group which will mobilize more will get more votes. Two, I agree with Guma that we have a problem whereby individuals who are fronted by different political parties have a tendency of believing that since Party X have fronted me as a flag bearer, that's enough.
Anointed.
And me, as far as I'm concerned, even if you have been brought by any party, you have an individual role to play.
Homework.
Individuals or voters need to know what do you stand for.
Right.
If you are through, will our problems be handled? And if you don't measure to that, don't be surprised if you're not voted. I disagree with Jimmy. Jimmy says urban voters know what they want. Yes, of course, an urban center is an urban center. But that's not an end in itself. I want to assure you that there are some people in urban centers who even reach at the polling station without knowing which candidate to vote. It's not a blanket as per se. But what is true is that in urban centers, you must take an extra mile to position yourself, to market yourself, and portray yourself. Who are you? In fact, they call it lifting the veil. If they remove your party, who are you and what did you stand for? That's very, very important. And that kind of mobilization at the end of the day contributes to the final vote, which you will finally get. But Godfrey, all said and done, all said and done, I want to still say that today's election was very peaceful, and I want to applaud the Electoral Commission and the police. But still, warn those who may want to be used for purposes of inciting the population, for inciting of causing violence in the city, that police will not rest. Imam may not be happy with the deployment. The deployment is going to be there for purposes of Godfrey and others to make their businesses prosper.
Imam, let's hear from you about some of these comments that came from the comments.
Thank you very much. I want maybe to make one argument that
the presence of the deployment and the purpose matter a lot. So me, I look at situations and the person who, because I am a social scientist,
Yes.
and more inclined to sociology, anthropology, and so the mind of the people,
Yes.
and what they think, and in history, what they have been thinking. You see, people get scared for, you can deploy but that one alone does not change the situation, maybe in future. But I want to say one thing. People of Uganda and Kampala, everywhere, all along, we have been wanting a peaceful election. It is those managing this election and those who want to be leaders that cause the confusion. So nobody should lie me or lie to Ugandans that, you know, the people have been wanting peace, because the people, they know what peace is and they know why they want peace.
Well, but Imam, some people say the end justifies the means. Since we've got a peaceful election, the blue trucks in the roundabouts were justified.
No, they are not justified. You don't need to see. There are people, whether they are there or not, who are not scared. For example, me, I pass by them, I look at them and say, if I wanted, I said, if I was a wrongdoer, I would probably, actually, the presence of those is to make the hardcore people to become more troublesome, innovative, and to begin thinking, what can I do? Because somebody can come and look at that truck and say, supposing I came and
they begin to plan
and destroyed this truck before it takes off from here, what will happen? So all of those are scarecrows that will be overcome with time. Number two.
Very briefly. Very briefly. I'm leaving some of these statements past because we don't have time to read it.
The final thing is that, do people here have any political ideology in this country?
Very briefly.
They don't have. And because of that, we are losing the direction. That's why you will find today, okay, Lukwago had a problem with his own party. Yes. Now he has one. Yes. You will find now the party running to him. That is the dangerous part of it. And if you are not careful, we may witness the other situation of what happened to Sebagala.
But thank you very much.
Godfrey, very briefly, as a wind up.
No, my only concern is that the deployments are fine for the protection of the citizens and their properties. Right. But my only concern, once again I repeat it, is the amount of police brutality. My belief and understanding is that...
Let's talk about this election specifically.
Exactly.
Was there police brutality?
No, this case there was no brutality at all. Today it was peaceful. Today it was nice. Police moved all over. The citizens were calm.
It could be intentionally, because people could have, if there was confusion, people could have brought in other things, and therefore people say, and the problem, Seven was strategic to come out to give that advice so that his position is not threatened by just because of the mayor race. He could have been strategic.
But Godfrey, do you think there's likely to be, as we wind up, do you think there's likely to be violence after the council storm?
Imam made a very... There's no need for only. There is one thing we are underlooking.
Yes.
The tendency of the EC to keep quiet over gazetting certain candidates. That is a boiling pot that will spill over. So, because it's funny. No, let's be sincere. We are seated here.
Yes.
It is 2 a.m. and they are telling you they are doing a recount. And then by 3 a.m. they tell you they are announcing another one.
Yeah,
that's the trouble. But ordinarily, I'm not seeing any chaos at all. Kampala is...
You know, when you sit in a sofa, some votes might fall in the folds of the...
So eventually, what is coming out?
Do not count with.
Exactly.
Imam mentioned
but Kampala is peaceful.
Fred, who do you think is going to win this election?
No, my prediction is that I'm not electoral commission.
Your prediction as an individual?
Kampala contesting. I know the rest is between Sematimba and Rukwago. And at the end of the day, we shall get the winner. But Imam mentioned the statement. He said, those who want to be leaders and managers are the ones who normally cause confusion.
Okay.
Yes, they don't cause it alone. They influence Imam and the Bamwine and others to join them, and the confusion is brought.
Okay.
Fortunately, the situation analysis has been made very well. The deployment has been made very well. Elections have ended. I know security has now taken over.
Yeah.
Whatever comes out from now, it's no longer an election matter. No,
And
it's a security
we have
matter.
the blue trucks around the corners. Thank you very much, dear guest, Mr. Godfrey Ssali.
I hope it will not victimize people.
Secretary General of KACITA, that's the Kampala City Traders Association. Thank you for coming over. Imam Kasozi, who hadn't seen you for some time. Cleric and lecturer at IUIU, thank you for coming. And Mr. Fred Bamwine, former RDC Nakawa, also working for the NRM Communications Bureau. Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Edmond Kizito. You can hear the news right now in English and thereafter Soul Train. Do stay tuned.
Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90. Watch it on your PC or cell phone now. On your